Hello guys, it's Unders. Today we're having a look at this new plugin from Soundspot called Halcyon. It is a saturator style plugin with a couple of little differences and a really simple, easy to use interface. I've just been playing around with it on this mix and discovered some really great little features of it and things that it does just by having to play around, and I thought I'd show you guys a little bit about it. So essentially what's going on, you've got your frequency spectrum across this area here where we've got these big yellow markers, and between these two yellow markers is where we're adding saturation. So it's a little bit different to how you would normally have it. You do have this effect in some other saturators, but normally you're applying it to the whole spectrum, or you've got a cross of a few different spectrums. In this case, we grab this area and that is specifically where we apply it to. I've just found that that is really great for bringing out particular sounds in a mix. If you were to automate it and things, it allows for some really cool creativity. So on here, I've just got it on the drum bus of this track. So I'm just going to solo the drums out and we can just see what's going on real quick. Cool, so it's quite a dark rolling break, and I've got it here right over the kick and just pushed up just a little bit. So by default it's got a setting of drums, however if I flick it over here it just grabs some rough presets and covers the area and spectrum and pushes those retrospectively to that preset. We're just going to drag that back and we're going to set this up again. So I'll just show you real quick. When I've got it playing, you'll see the spectrum right in the low end. There's a nice big 50 Hz style kick drum giving loads and loads of low end. We're just going to hone in on that and then I'm going to explain the controls that we are using. Really nice there. Okay, so what I did there was grabbed the two areas and moved the spectrum to where I wanted the saturation to occur. Then this large knob in the middle that has a silver ring around it goes from mid to side. In the middle it's going to be like a normal stereo processor. It's processing both channels, your mid and side sort of together. Bring it far over to the left, it's just grabbing the mid. So for my kick drum, which is really central, I've brought that all the way over to the left, so it's really focusing just on that right in the mid spectrum. If we were working with, say, the cymbals and hi-hats, we might want to push that right over to the right and work with just the sides and saturate those. Now you'll see in the spectrum, the blue spectrum is what audio I'm putting into this, and then the red is what's being applied. So you can see that I'm adding a few dB to a specific area, and it's adding extra harmonics to the audio that's going into it, which is adding a little bit of level, but we can see where it's being added, which is really useful. So I'll show you here and you can see the obvious little peaks that we've got going on. Fab, and that spectrum works all the way throughout the plugin. Regardless of what you're doing, it will show you what you're adding. Now next to the large knob in the middle of the interface, we've got a tack release and makeup. Very similar to a compressor, but it's how the saturation algorithm is working in terms of that. So you can have it be a little bit lazy and the saturation kicks in a little bit late, for example, or you can have it so it's on straight away. That seemed to work quite nicely there, so we left it. What's also a very nice addition is this LFO feature. So the LFO feature allows you to manipulate the saturation rhythmically. Now that can be really great if you're working on something like drums and you know, for example, you've got a house track where every kick is on the beat 1/4. You can have it so that saturation's also in time with that, and the attack release times are all synced up with that, and the saturation's applying really nicely and rhythmically and adding an extra layer of rhythm. That's a great option to have it inside the saturator. The other thing I discovered, I'm just going to show you on the hi-hats here, where I wanted to grab a particular area and you could perhaps boost that and work it with the LFO. It was a really nice little effect. So I'm just going to set that up live while it's playing. somewhere around here. Going to go back to the mid here. So it's now sort of a normal stereo processor. If we just A/B that real quickly, I just want you to hear the difference and the extra energy it's adding to these hi-hats. Yeah, they've suddenly got a whole new level of detail, and you can really see the frequency area that you're adding that into. It's a really nice effect. Then what was good, because we've got this LFO on the 16s, which is kind of the rhythm. These are a little bit loose, but kind of the rhythm that's going on. It's adding that extra layer of rhythm. I'll just turn the LFO off and we'll A/B the plugin. You can really hear a massive difference for such subtle settings. It's just such a nice effect, and it allows you to play around and really bring out and enhance sounds in certain areas. I'm going to keep having to play with this, guys. I suggest you download the demo and give it a go while it's on a crazy 70% off offer or something ridiculous. I hope this has been helpful for you. Enjoy playing around with this plugin, guys. It's a really nice idea with a really simple solution for adding saturation to specific areas of a sound. Enjoy. See you on the next one.